God did not call you to erase your personality. He called you to refine it, to make it better. You understand what I'm saying? To make it better. And in today's episode, we are going to discuss how exactly God has planned to use your personality to refine you, to make you a better person, your ideal person. So I have some notes with me and we're going to be going through them together with you, and let me know what you think in the comment section. But before that, let's get into the videos, my loves. Hi guys, welcome back to the new subscribers, and if you're a returning subscriber, you're welcome. I enjoy your company and I enjoy your support even best. So today, as you've heard from the title, or you can read from the title, we're going to be talking about personality. So what is personality? That's where we're going to start, okay? So the definition of personality according to the dictionary, it is a unique way a person thinks, feels, reacts, and relates to the world. How you are shows up. How who you are shows up in layman's language. That's literally what personality means, okay? How who you are shows up, okay? Like me as a person, how I show up. Like, how do you know that this is Kate that is talking? Because of how I show up, like how I behave. You know, that is what we call personality. I hope you're together. So personality, it's not your identity. I know in the recent episode, I can't remember which one, but I know we have talked about identity in a recent episode. So personality is not your identity, okay? I hope you're together. So what are the examples of a personality, or what are the examples that I would give as Kate for personalities? I would say talkative, shyness, openness, you know, such. Anxious, active, such are examples of what shows who you are, like what is your personality, okay? So we have 5 personality traits. These are the 5 dimensions of personalities. And I know I seem like I'm talking like Greek or something to some of you. So I'm just going to give you a small formula that you're going to be using as we go on. So the formula is ocean. You know, ocean, OCEAN. Ocean, okay? So ocean, openness, O is for openness, consciousness, extroversion, agreeableness, and neuroticism. So what are these things that I'm saying? They are dimensions of personality traits. Dimensions, this is what I mean in layman's language. I mean, these are the things that we will analyze to determine what personality trait you have, okay? These are the things that you're going to determine. Like, I'm going to check, are you an open person? Are you conscious? How are you an extrovert, an introvert? Your agreeableness to some situations in life. And that is how I'm going to place you under any category of personality. So as we go on, we are going to discuss these 5 personality traits that we have just mentioned, the ocean ones, okay? And we are going to list the 4 big personality traits that I have come through, like I have come through for life. Zenye nimezipitia kwa maisha yangu, ama watu ambao ninawajua ambaye they have these personality traits, okay? So openness. Openness is the creativity and the intrigue, okay? You know, I have said tutatumia hizi 5 kujua wewe personality trait yako ni gani, si ndio? So we are going to be analyzing this one. So what is openness? Openness is your creativity, you know, the way you, if you love exploring new food, you know, enjoying abstract ideas, learning new languages, that is your openness, like your openness to things, okay? Your openness to try a zip lining, to jump over a cliff, you know, your openness, you're going to use that one. And your consciousness, this is your thoughtfulness, you know, the way you're organized, your responsibility, the way, you know, responsibility doesn't mean like you have to be a firstborn or something, or a parent or something. You can just have somebody, you look at them and you know, like, this is a responsible person. So we are also going to use that one. So that one is consciousness, like you're conscious to the responsibility, you're conscious to your organization, you know. Some of us are organized, some of us are not organized. We're also going to use that to see which which, oh my God, the Ukikuyu in me. We are going to use this to check which personality trait you fall under, okay? The next one, you're going to be using extroversion. Extroversion is your sociability, as it says, okay? You know, we're used to saying you're an extrovert and introvert. And today, I want to change that for you because those are not personality traits. You know, that is just like generalizing, you know? I want today, after this exact episode, when I ask you which personality do you have or which personality do you fall under, you don't say extrovert, introvert, ambivert, yeah, those things, okay? So extroversion is the next one, and we have said this is sociability. This is the way you talk. Maybe you're shy, you're action oriented, your assertiveness. This is what I mean by extroversion. And the other one is agreeableness. Agreeableness is the kindness, okay? Like, you know, agreeing. Maybe you agree to help a colleague, the way you agree to chip in some money in your family to raise the siblings that you left at home, you know, that is what I mean. Your agreeableness, you're also going to use that to see under which character trait you fall under. And the neuroticism, this is the sadness or emotional instability that a person has. You know, this one, kwanza, we are going to use it 100%. Some of you are very moody. Some of us are not very moody. You know, we are going to be using all of these character traits to define or to check under which personality group do you fall under. I hope from there we are together. So those things that I've just mentioned, the ocean, that is the formula, ocean, openness, consciousness, extroversion, agreeableness, and neuroticism, okay? So we have already chambuad those ones, okay? So let's go to the big four personalities, okay? This, I could call them the four temperaments. You know, temperaments, like from the word temper, okay? I hope you get me, guys. So the big four personalities, the first one, and the one that is most common, and we're going to be discussing all of this, the four of them, and then you guys are going to be telling me under which personality trait do you think me as Kate I fall under, okay? So we are going to be starting with sanguine. Venye tu naisema, yani sanguine. I don't know if you guys have come across that name. So sanguine is a type of personality, okay? This is the life of the party. If I tell you I'm a sanguine, bro, you better believe I am the life of the party. Before me coming in that room, you guys are bored. You guys are bored until I come in. So sanguine, what are the character traits of these sanguine people so that you might know if you're a sanguine, okay? These people are extroverted, okay? That's why I was telling you, extroversion, introversion, it's not a character trait. It's not a personality. It is a character trait to define your personality. I hope tuko pamoja mpaka hapo. So a sanguine is a person who is extroverted, like he wants to be out there every time. He is a social person, always attending those two events. Social anxiety fears him or her. You know, that is me. Optimistic. This person is very optimistic, you know. There's optimistic and pessimistic. So optimistic is a person who sees the good in every opportunity. Pessimistic is the exact opposite of that, okay? So we are going to be looking at the next one, which is fun-loving. This person is a fun-loving person. You mean? Oh, I mean... This person is a fun-loving person. Like he loves you in a fun way, or she loves you in a fun way. This person is very vibrant. Even the aura. Hapa ndio mnasemanga somebody has an aura. This is what they mean. This person is vibrant. Very going out there with everybody. Out there with everybody and anybody. This person is enthusiastic. You know, this person will want to ask, like, Kate, what if we shoot from this angle? What if we shoot from that angle? You know, this is a person who is a sanguine. So we have said a sanguine is extroverted, he is social, optimistic, fun-loving, vibrant, and creative, okay? The second person that you're going to be looking at, or the second group under personality that you're going to be looking at, is choleric. Choleric, this is also another one. I think most of my friends are choleric. Because not of them are sanguines. Yeah, I think most of them are choleric. So character traits of how you're going to know that this person is a choleric and not a sanguine, okay? This person is confident. This person is very confident. The way he talks, the way he moves, the way he walks, the way he dresses, this person is very confident. I know you can tell a confident person and a not confident person, okay? For example, me on my first video of Kaiket Lux, and this video, the confidence. What a confidence booster. The confidence just kicked in as time goes by, and it is you guys that give me the confidence, okay? So the other one, this person is goal oriented. So these people, by most chances, they end up being leaders because they are goal oriented. This is a person who will stand like this and say, Kate, you wouldn't have said that in that video. Say this. Kate, don't eat this because of this and this and that, okay? So these people, they tend to be leaders. So that is goal oriented. These people, they have a strong will. A person who is goal oriented, obviously, this person is strong willed, because in order to be goal oriented and you don't lose focus of anything, you have to have a strong will, okay? These people are very assertive. When they are confident, by chance they also have to be assertive, because how are they going to project whatever they want? And the other one is, these people are very energetic. They need control. These people need to control, that's why I said most of them, they tend to be leaders. And another character trait that I really don't like about them, these people, they tend to be very stubborn, because this person is very confident, very assertive, very goal oriented. This person wants this and this and this and this, and it is this and this. This person cannot compromise, because again, he's strong-willed. You understand? So this person tends to be stubborn and dominant, okay? So that is a choleric person. We have said he's confident, he's goal-oriented. This person is assertive. This person is confident, energetic, needs control, and he's stubborn, And the third, but not the last, the third one, we're going to be looking at melancholic. Melancholic. I know it sounds like I'm speaking Greek, but melancholic, okay? Melancholic is also a type of a personality. So this person is introverted or reserved, introverted and reserved. This person is analytical and detail oriented. One thing about these quiet people, they are very oriented. Like wanakuanga wamekupigia mahesabu kabla hata hujaanza kuongea, wamekupigia hesabu. That's why they are very quiet, because we also know the more you keep quiet, the more you analyze things, okay? And then the other one is perfectionist. These people, they are perfectionists because, they are analyzing. So as they analyze, they are going to perfect it. So these people, they are perfectionists. They want you to perfect everything, okay? These people, they are very sensitive. These quiet people, also you guys, I don't know why they are sensitive and they tend to be short. But anyways, story for another day. But they are sensitive, okay? These people, they are loyal. Loyal. The Ukikuyu in me has not kicked in. Loyal. I can even say it again. Loyal. These people are very loyal. Before I start flexing and shrubbing, these people, they're those people that you would depend on. It is nice to have this person as a friend. These people, this person will never disappear, or you need them and they are not there. This is a melancholic person. This person is pessimistic, always seeing the bad. Most of the times he's seeing the bad in everything. Pessimistic, okay? And creative and artistic, because he's thinking about something, thinking about it like very detail oriented, thinking about it, analyzing everything. This person tends to be artistic or creative, So this is a melancholic. I said this person is introverted. This person is loyal, which is very nice. This person is a perfectionist, and she's very sensitive, he or she. So the fourth one is phlegmatic. Phlegmatic. So you might ask yourself, what is a phlegmatic? So phlegmatic is the last character trait. I personally don't know most people who have phlegmatic. I think 2 or 3. So like these are their personalities. A phlegmatic person, like I think it's also very rare to come across them. So this person is very calm. This person is calm in nature. He is reliable and loyal. This person is introverted. He is peaceful. He is withdrawn. Withdrawn. As you guys are in the party, making noise and doing all that, discussing, having your mini critics, this person has just sat at the corner analyzing you guys. So this person is withdrawn, not always with the crowd, okay? Always alone. This person is tolerant. Okay, this person can tolerate a lot of things. This person is accommodating, like very hospitable. This person procrastinates a lot of things because I think of his character trait of being introverted, lacks drive and is very stubborn. Okay, so a phlegmatic person in layman's language is a person who is withdrawn, a person who doesn't like staying with the crowd, a person who cannot like stand out and say I want this and that. But this person, the good thing about this person, he will never leave you. He will always be there. But then again, ask yourself, is he staying there because you're a good friend or a good companion? But he's, oh my God, forgive me, or is he staying there because he doesn't want to speak up? Because you have said these people, they procrastinate because they lack drive. So have you learned which personality trait you're about? And as we finished, I thought that personally, as I was making these notes, I thought that we might finish them by there, because like we have learned all the 4 character traits and all that of personalities and all that, da 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 da. But I was curious because I wanted to know, in the Bible, these personality traits, were they displayed, or did just personality begin with us? And so I did some little bit of digging for you guys. Okay, I did some little bit of digging for you guys. Okay, so I wanted to understand, what is God's personality, what is God's view, what is God's view, by the way, what is God's personality? Come to think of it, anyways, what is God's view about personality? Okay, so everybody is different. This is something that you have known. Even as a baby, you have known everybody is different. Okay, and God created all people different to fulfill a certain and different purpose through us all. Okay, so what this line means, it means that all of us are different people. Okay, all of us are different. Me and you cannot be the same, my dear, my boo boo. We cannot be the same. And why are we different? Because God wanted to like, what is this? Like show like the sanguineness, how he can be glorified in a sanguine person, in a melancholic person, in a choleric person, and in a phlegmatic person. He wanted to show all of these things. That's why we are different, and we are different to fulfill the purpose. And that's why when I began this video, I said, were you just called because of your personality, or did God call you to refine your personality? Okay, does personality change after being born again through Christ? I want to ask you guys this question, and I also meditated on this question a lot. I have an answer, of course, or an opinion, but what do you guys think? Let me know. Does personality change after being born again through Christ? Does it change? If you are a sanguine, are you not going to be a choleric person? Are you going to be a phlegmatic person after you've changed to become a Christianity? So people who are sanguine in the Bible, I'm just going to mention them first and say the things that made me think that they were sanguine people. So I would think Apostle Peter, the disciple. I don't know why I usually confuse Paul and Peter and James and John. I don't know why, but Apostle Peter, the disciple, I think he was a sanguine person. Why? He was always the first one to speak in all their gatherings when Jesus was on this earth. You see, Peter replied. Ignore that. Peter said, Peter replied, Peter asked, Peter. And another thing that I think made him a sanguine, asked Christ enthusiastically to let him walk on water. This Peter that I'm talking about is the Peter who walked on water. And I wish I was Peter, because I really fear water and I really would love to walk on it. Just step on it. And also during the transfiguration, I think you guys have done some little bit of digging. So during the transfiguration, this is when God was praying. My God, I mean Jesus. Jesus was praying, and then like the disciples, they woke up and then they saw like there are 3 now images, and they had clouds over them. So Peter is the one who asked, can I make a shelter for you guys? He was asking his master, which was Christ, of course. because he was a disciple. So he asked, can I make a tent for you guys so that you can shelter during the night? You know, he was like very talkative. The way I'm saying, sanguine people are always out there, always speaking their minds, because Peter did not know these people. Peter, of course, knew, like the way it's explained in the Bible, these people were glorified. They were dazzling white. Of course, he didn't know who they were, but he wanted to build shelters for them. Okay. And during Jesus' arrest, he cut off the ear of the soldier. You know, the way we see those movie of Christ before he was crucified, and we see he was praying in the wilderness. All of a sudden, we see a mob of people coming, or a crowd of people coming, and Judas is saying, the person that I will kiss, that one is the one that I want you guys to take. So that one is Jesus. But before that, we see that Peter cuts off the ear of one of the soldiers. But later on, God, or Christ, Christ heals the ear of this person. So the other person, I think, was sanguine, is King David. Why? He was creative in his writing because he wrote most of Psalms. You know, people say that he wrote it alone, but of course we know like some leaders helped and all that. So he was very creative, because if you read Psalms, my guy, creativity comes from there, you know. And this person was very passionate. He was a passionate worshiper, a passionate lover. The way he played his harp, even the demons that possessed the King Saul, that is, came off, and he relaxed and all that. Like, this person was very enthusiastic in his praise, in his worship. This is also the person who sang and sang and sang and sang and sang and sang. Okay, so he's also social skills. Social skills. He was a great leader and acceptable leader, because during that mini-gritty arguing and fighting for authority between Saul and David, when Saul felt like David had become now an opponent, like a threat to him and his leadership of the Israelites, he wanted to persecute this person or to kill this person. And during those time, we know there's this song that I don't remember it's in which one, in which verse specifically and which chapter, but I know these people, they were singing that, I don't know, Saul has king 10,000, but David has king 100,000, something like that, you know. So this person was very acceptable by the subordinates he ruled. Okay, and even after becoming the king, he was very acceptable and he leaded very well. Okay, and this person was inconsistent. Remember the bad character trait I said about sanguines. Okay, we said a sanguine is enthusiastic, optimistic, creative, extroverted, and fun-loving. But this doesn't come without its faults, because these people, as much as you're out there, of course you're not in there for yourself. Okay, so they have not dealt with themselves very well. So we can see that King David was inconsistent because his personal life was just messed up, you know, because he had Bathsheba. I don't know, the babies did what after they grew up. They started raping each other from their own household. Man, it's just crazy. He had a crazy personal life. And I can see we're running out of time and I still haven't underlined or highlighted the other ones. Let me just tell you guys quickly, and you're not going to get into it that deep, because I just realized that you guys don't like long videos. Why don't you like long videos? You know, I made some long video, but you guys did not watch it at all. Like, you guys watch until half of it and then you stop, because maybe you thought it was too fast or too long. Okay, so the other person, so we have said Peter and David, I think they were sanguines because of the reasons that I've all explained to you guys. And choleric in the Bible, I think Apostle Paul. Apostle Paul is this person that was jailed and person who wrote the letters and all that, you know. If you don't know who Apostle Paul is, he was very zealous. He was always like very, very strong, very talkative about like, this Christian should be done this, Christ exists, Christ is the personal savior, Christ is Jesus, Christ is God, you know. He was very zealous and convicting people about Christianity. And we also see Elijah. Elijah challenged the prophets on Mount Carmel. I think he was alone, you know. That time, the other prophets, the Baal prophets, yeah, that is the name, right? The other Baal prophet, there were so many and he was alone. So this has to be a choleric person according to my thinking. And mother is the person who is the sister of Mary. the person who, the sister of Mary, the sister of Lazarus, okay? When Jesus visited, okay, you guys, you need to be reading the Bible. Ndio nikisema hivi, I really don't have to explain much. But when Christ came and visited Martha and Mary, we see Martha is the one who sat there. So Martha contrasting with her sister Mary about sitting there, because Mary at some point came and he was preparing a meal for the guest who was Christ. And he asked Martha, who was sitting at the feet of Jesus, talking to him. He said, Martha, why don't you come and help me? But Jesus told him, this one has known what is best, okay? So we see Martha is very choleric because he's very strong-willed, very goal-oriented. He knows that the goal is Jesus and Jesus alone. We also see John the Baptist. This is the person who was, he was by Herod at that time, by the Herod of that time, okay? So he confronted corrupt leaders, and that's why I think he was a choleric person, okay? And melancholic, so we have seen a choleric, we think Apostle Paul, Elijah, Martha, and John the Baptist, okay? Melancholic in the Bible. So melancholic in the Bible, I think Job, because during lamentation, he showed deep despair and wish of death. You know, at that point in time, I don't think entirely he was melancholic, but I think at that point in time, Job was melancholic. Also Jeremiah, who was weeping, prophet and uttered lamentation. He was the weeping prophet. He's actually titled the weeping prophet or the prophet of doom. Is it him? Yeah, I think it's him, Jeremiah. So Moses is the other one. He didn't feel like a leader. He was easily frustrated and prone to overthinking. You know, we said these melancholic people, they have one thing. These people, they are pessimistic. Pessimistic means they don't see the good in everything. So that's why I have listed Job, because he said, I want to die during his lamentations, you know. Jeremiah, who was always a weeping, and he uttered lamentation, like he was like the author of lamentation, like, you know, oh my God. But I pity them, because at some point I just think that they had issues. Anyways, that is just the psychology in me kicking in. And Moses, he didn't feel like a leader. He was easily frustrated. So that's why I think it's him. And phlegmatic in the Bible, I think it is Timothy, Barnabas, and Esther. Timothy, why? He needed constant encouragement to preach and take initiative. He was a loyal friend to Paul, because they have said these phlegmatic people, they will not be out there. You have to push them. These people, they procrastinate. So you have to push them to be able to get something, okay? So that's why I think Timothy, because you see these letters, they were written to Timothy, and Timothy was told, Timothy, have faith. Timothy, persevere. Timothy, don't listen to them, okay? You just do the work of the Lord. And Barnabas, he was son of encouragement, and he was a peacemaker, okay? And Esther, he was loyal to the people, so that even she fasted and she was a queen, you know? If she didn't have any business fasting for those people, but she had that love. So that's why I think phlegmatic, Esther represents it very, very well, okay? So there's a note I wrote here. So God calls you as you are to use your personality for the glorification of his kingdom. And this answers the question that I asked as we began this video, okay? Did God call you to erase your personality, or did God call you to refine your personality? Did God call you to make you a sanguine and you are a choleric? No. He called you to be a sanguine and represent his nature in your sanguineness. He called you to be a choleric to represent your cholericness, his goodness in your cholericness, okay? A melancholic, a phlegmatic, all of those to represent him in your personality. So I hope you guys have learned a thing or two, because as I am going through these notes, I also get to capture a lot of things that maybe I didn't capture while writing, while making the notes and all that. So I hope this video was very helpful for you guys, and I love you so much. Continue subscribing, and don't forget, we are answering that question down there. Do you think that God called you to erase your personality or to refine it? I also want you to tell me what character trait or what personality. Why am I mixing character trait and personality? What personality do you think I fall in under? And what personality do you fall under? Okay? I love you guys. Until next time, mwah! God loves you.